Okay, welcome back to my channel, Libra. This is just another en route read. This is actually going to be involving a lot of wisdom this month. This will be for the month of May 2023. What I'm seeing here is the King of Wisdom. We've got the Four of Charisma. We've got the Four of Intelligence. We've also got the Nine of Wisdom. And we've got the Seven of Strength. And then I've got clarifiers below here as well. So they're pretty significant cards in that... further out, I would say, more so. But right now, the energy for May is certainly with the Devil card there as well. There might be some expenditure issues, but anyway, we'll get to all of that here. So what I'm looking at right now, sorry, I think I'm dealing with some allergy issues here. This is a new deck for me, so I'm just going to try to muddle through here a little bit. I have looked at some of it. It's very similar to a lot of the regular decks, but really love it. Amazing cardstock. And this is actually in coordination with a game, this particular deck, which was sort of brought to my attention through other people that I know. It's actually the D&D tarot cards. It's really, the book is a little more subtle in its... in the explanations, but for the most part, I mean, if you're a tarot reader, a lot of these cards are going to resonate for you in different ways, of course, with the traditional tarot. So King of Wisdom basically is the King of Swords. And of course, sorry, I might periodically have to drink something here just to kind of get through the readings. But anyway, what I'm seeing here with the King of Wisdom is, of course, that does deal with, possibly for some of you, it's a legal matter and, you know, could be dealing with somebody who's just, you know, could be a lawyer or somebody who's very entwined in an intellectual position, or who just basically is somebody who's quite intellectual. But either way, this could also represent you. So what I'm seeing here is this card is basically King of Swords. I really feel is you, because it is the Libra energy, and I feel like you're strongly in this position this month of very wise moves being made, basically, in short. So anyway, I'll just try to get right into it here. So as I said, when we're dealing with the King of Wisdom, this is somebody who's already, you know, learned a lot of the lessons. This is somebody who you can trust in. This is somebody who has a fair amount of knowledge. And it's also, just because it is right around the Two of Charisma here, this is about accepting, you know, things about yourself. This is about... not being complacent. You're actually taking the initiative to change things within yourself here. And again, it's sort of a deeper month for getting to know yourself, but there's a lot of energy around just being clear cut. You know, not a lot of, I don't want to say creative energy, because I do still see creative energy here, but a lot of this is really almost research energy here. So Two of Charisma, like I said, next to the King of Wisdom, is I feel like you're accepting a lot of things about yourself. Maybe there are some things that are harsher things about yourself that, you know, you are learning to adapt to, because the King of Wisdom is about sort of critical thinking here as well. But in terms of, even with the Two of Charisma, this is about managing things about your time, managing things about priorities, that kind of thing, kind of making the way clear and really setting some boundaries for yourself. I think like you're really seeing things clearly this month to be able to deal and manage in a better, dealing with things in a better way anyway. Four of Charisma, like I say, I mean, there's a lot of cards here with the Charisma, so this is really around... Swords and Wands is kind of the primary energy here, especially when we get down to the Three of Charisma here as well. But Four of Charisma, like I say, you are being careful with your finances. You might be a little prone to expenditure here with the Devil, and finding that there's some things that kind of get out of your, you know, out of your range. You just want to make sure that you are staying in the energy of, you know, cutting things down, cutting things out, really being a lot more careful in how you're going forward here. But there's also a sense with the Three of Charisma that you are doing things from a place where you're actually able to collaborate, where you're learning through collaborations. So just keeping a rein on your finances in the month of May, but also a really strong indicator that you are kind of engaging more with other groups of people, I would say, especially when I see the Four of Intelligence, and there's things that are even engaging you more intellectually. Something that is really caught your attention that you're interested in really learning, because the Nine of Wisdom is also finding that balance between things that you can accomplish and not allowing yourself to become stagnant. So you're really going forward in this month, in the month of May. As I said, there's still a lot of energy about, with the Four of Intelligence, like there's just something here where you're wisely making maneuvers. But I feel like you're sort of pulling yourself back before you actually act on things. So you're really taking the time to consider your actions in this month. Seven of Strength. I mean, that is also a card, and I'll get into the clarifiers, like I said, a little bit more here, but the Seven of Strength for sure is that card of, again, sort of peeling back the layers and sort of looking at things before you move ahead. You're not acting in a place of, haste. It's slow, deliberate, methodical moves, I would say, this month, but it's also about you dealing with any areas of stress that you've been dealing with or had been dealing with, whatever that is for you. Again, this is you kind of finding a way to learn to release it, because there's so much around this month of really taking the time to go within and really see what's causing your fears, what are the things you desire, all of that. And, whatever it is that's been sort of tripping you up or slowing you down this month, I feel like you're really getting a hold of, especially when I see the Strength card followed by the Seven of Strength. So I feel like you really have a handle on it this month. You are in a place of being able to act, again, from, a lot of wise interactions with other people. And I feel like that might be a part of upgrading yourself in some way, because the devil in itself is dealing with how we deal with those darker parts of ourselves. And again, that might be in around money or thoughts about money, which could be the issue, but it's about getting honest with yourself with those same cards and having the vehicle to do it. So that is your mindset, is what I would say here with the Chariot. But with the Chariot and the Nine of Wisdom, I feel like you're really following through on something that's related to wisdom. So whether this is educating yourself, but it's somehow manifesting your desires and moving it into a place where you actually have some degree of success coming through. And as I said, it looks like you are advancing yourself with some level of help or assistance, and it's something that is bringing up the mind. So, leveling up the mind in some way through the assistance of others. And so the Strength card, again, is being able to move through fears. And I don't feel like you are, I feel like you're unshakable in the month of May, because I feel like there's some kind of breakthrough here that is allowing you to, overcome whatever the challenge is for you. And like I said, I mean, you're doing it in a really methodical, thoughtful way. I'm going to pull some other quick cards here too, I think, but anyway, for the most part, like I said, I'm just going to keep it to a shorter reading this time. But for the most part, like I said, when we're looking at some of the cards here, the fours, you've got 2 4s here, you've got a 9 is almost an end cycle here, and then we've also got the 7 of Strength. So, and we've got the 7 of Strength with the Strength card, like I said. So there's a lot of will, there's a lot of power this month for you to get through whatever deeper issues you're contending with. And just to go back to that King of Swords, again, of course, Libra energy, but it's somebody who's not compromising. I feel like you're not compromising yourself anymore. I feel like you're putting yourself forward here. This is you unlocking your potential. This is you having some standards, and it definitely speaks to a certain level of independence in thought or in leadership. And again, leading by example, that kind of energy. It's also, it's because it's wise, it's a wise person, a lot of cards here of wisdom. I do feel like this could very much relate to things that are traditional. So again, that could speak to education or formal learning, anything like that. But Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is very relevant here. And it still speaks to, just making decisions based on your belief systems, things that are long standing, that have been in your life for some time before you act out, into the Chariot energy, which is where I feel like there's a little bit of a collaboration further out. The energy might be starting for some of you in the month of May, but it is still energy that's further out, and that's where you're going to advance. And I don't feel like you're acting with a lot of emotion this month. It feels like there's just a lot of wise, deliberate actions, productive kind of thoughts, calm, controlled, possibly a little restricted in some areas here with that devil. Again, around finances or not feeling like you have a way to approach something, possibly. But again, it's still energy about communicating effectively with your ideas, and certainly there is a lot of mental agility going on here. When we get to like I said, the Four of Intelligence, the fours definitely represent things around home as well as, practical things. So I feel like around the home, that's also your approach. This is, you bringing order and organization to a particular space. Things are a lot more stable. With the Four of Intelligence. The Four of Charisma, like I said, there's something still in the financial range that might be a range that might still be a little bit unsettled, but I feel like you are able to be practical with your relationships. I feel like that's how you're dealing with things for the most part. There's a lot of commitment coming through with the four as well, that is going to allow you to be a lot more committed. And again, certainly a fair amount more organization in this month. And again, there's, just a lot of energy that is going to indicate independence, independent thought, that kind of thing. The 9 is definitely still, to me, very independent, high standard, not allowing for a lot of distractions, very strong boundaries, very, very strong boundaries in the month of May. And again, you might be working more so from home in this month, or doing things around that. The 9 again is kind of conclusive energy, but there is a sense that you're integrating a lot of fears and things that were out of whack in terms of your mental state. That's being integrated this month. So that's going to allow a certain level of mastery and prepare you for a new beginning in another way. Again, the Strength card, even though this is further out, again, this is energy that's probably going to transfer over into, further out into the month, but it still, indicates you've got what it takes to overcome something. Your endurance will pay off, and it is a certain level of intensity in the mind, I would say. But there's a lot of passion here for this particular direction, and there is a lot of knowledge, based ideas. So this is, again, it still indicates that there could be a lot of research, but there's definitely raw courage here as well with the Chariot. So there might be something that's kind of taking you into a level of a strong level of determination is going to be what's required to kind of bounce you forward here. But again, I still feel like you're cultivating the right attitude to be able to get into this space. So still speaks to a lot of self-control here in the month of May. Just going back into the Three of Charisma, which is really kind of that Three of Wands energy. And again, it's still around expressing yourself creatively. And it definitely still speaks to more communication with, or better communication with people in your life, I would say here as well. The 3, as I said, is very creative energy, but it's also planning ahead, and planning ahead in group situations, or planning ahead, meaning you're seeing a broader picture to a situation. This could be Leo, Sagittarius, Aries that's relevant here as well, but it's really that determined dreamer kind of energy showing up here. And I just feel like you're really able to write things down, get things clear in your mind, and that's how something is going to be forged ahead here this month. Just, I guess, in brief with the devil energy, like I said, that's still a card of, you know, something being, I don't want to say overly toxic necessarily, but certainly feels like something is a little out of whack there with the devil energy. And again, we've got two of the fours here, so it feels like there might have been some mental instability, mental imbalance, like I said, and I still feel like you are moving into a more expressive time because of that triad energy and expression here with the Three of Charisma. But like I said, I mean, that's more of a dynamic energy, but it's further out, and it still feels like there is more staying power really with your mental mindset. I'm just going to go into the last little bit of it here. And like I said, I mean, these cards are pretty, they're nothing significant as far as the major arcana. So it feels like there's a lot of just mental energy in this area, in this realm of your development. It's not to say that there's not other areas of your life that don't warrant more attention. But right now, I think that for whoever this resonates for, and again, it won't speak to all of you, it's more of a general reading here. But again, this is not predictions. It's energy that you're working with this month, but it still is an indicator that you do have a lot of things going on here that will open up once you are in control of your mindset, which does seem to be the case. Because like I said, I mean, anything that deals with the King of Wisdom and all these other cards following around wisdom and strength, I feel like there's a certain level of grounding that goes with these cards in this particular deck. So anyway, that's what I would say is kind of the main cards coming out here. We'll do other further reads and take it as it resonates. Just a general read for you, Libra, and we'll speak to you in the next read.